It shouldn't be this way. Well, life may know better than you. The power of unhappy endings and difficult moments. In the past, I wasn't always happy with what was going on in my life. I had problems trusting life and the grand scheme of things. In the past, I wasn't always sure whether I was doing the right thing. I was scared of making decisions that I would regret. I had problems trusting my judgment and intuition. Today, I believe that if you stay true to yourself, you can't get it wrong. Trust is the glue of life. Therefore, trust, and one day you'll connect the dots. If you don't like your current situation or any aspect of your life, open yourself to the possibility that life may know better than you. Give yourself a breather and send your poor little me on vacation. Let's explore this topic and some real-life examples. The power of feeling very, very bad. Sometimes you may feel very, very bad when/after going through a difficult experience. For example, ending a relationship or losing a job. You may also feel very, very bad simply living your daily life. But what if feeling bad is exactly what you need? What if it's better to feel bad than feel fine? What if feeling fine keeps you stuck and confused? Feeling very bad, in turn, can make you unstoppable. It can motivate you to change your life right now. You may have watched Mel Robbins' TED Talk, How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over. If you have, you will know what I mean. I've always felt the biggest motivation to change my life situation when things got so bad that I had to do something about them. A good example is my first job, a low-paid one. In the beginning, I was happy that I could pay the bills and I was gaining work experience. I could always have a worse job, worse colleagues, worse tasks and responsibilities. Be happy with what you have, period. But after a while, I started wondering, is that all that there is to life? Suddenly, my managers got annoying, long to-do lists repetitive, and I felt unappreciated. I didn't feel fine anymore. I hated that place. I felt terrible and motivated to change it. Had I felt fine, I would have tolerated mediocre working conditions much longer. I would have been fine sitting in the computer and working with nice people, but not moving on in life. I would have waited for God to send me a dream job one day. For now, it was good to be just fine. Luckily, events that made me feel really bad motivated me to find a better workplace. I never looked back. Unhappy endings can be blessings in disguise. Another significant event in my life was losing my job about 10 years ago. It's been one of the most difficult experiences in my life. I'll never forget the first morning when I woke up jobless. Soon, it turned out it was a blessing in disguise. In fact, I had a feeling it would be the case. I changed careers and started doing what I love. I decided that I didn't want to work in typical corporate environments anymore. So I found a place where I could be myself. If I hadn't lost my job, who knows how much time I would have wasted on dead-end jobs and following career paths that were not right for me. The bottom line, life was on my side, or the universe had my back, if you will. In a similar way, ending a relationship has been one of the most excruciating experiences in my life. At the time, I thought it was a catastrophe. I thought I would die. Eventually, it led to one of the biggest transformations in my life that I'm grateful for. Today, I'm happy that that relationship didn't last a day longer than necessary. Good or bad? Time will tell. Negative events are usually unwelcome in our lives. Yet the truth is that a bad turn of events may result in positive outcomes. Think of the following example. You miss your train, you're late for a job interview, and lose a chance to land this particular job. First, you're unhappy and frustrated about what just happened. Soon, you forget about this unfortunate event and carry on with your job hunting. At some point, you get a fantastic job offer, much better than the one you missed. You would never have landed it had you caught that train and got the first job. Life is on your side. The universe has your back. Such situations open you up to new opportunities. You can also treat them as a lesson, especially a lesson in patience, acceptance, and trust. If you feel disappointed when your plans do not pan out as expected, give it some time. If you need to wave goodbye to what feels familiar, safe, and comfortable, trust it's for the best. Additionally, the so-called failures and setbacks can make you more creative, more flexible, and more persistent. Feeling very, very bad can make you access the power you didn't know you had. Regretting decisions unnecessarily. My story. One of my biggest regrets in life was rejecting an attractive job offer from a well-known brand based in London. Shortly after rejecting it, I regretted my decision. I was sure I had a mental blackout. I had a reason, though, to reject that offer. I was told during the interview that I would have to work during Christmas time. I couldn't fly back home and visit my family in my home country. Had I been convinced that I wanted to work for that organization, it probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal to stay in London for Christmas. But for me, it was. I wanted to fly home for Christmas. The mind said, yes, take that job. The heart said, no, don't take it. I didn't take it. A few days later, I started to regret my decision like hell. I couldn't think about anything else. The company was good, the money was good, the working conditions were good. Where did my logical thinking go? It got even worse when I had to deal with the same frustrations at my old workplace. I would regret my decision for months to come, until one day it was all clear. I decided to reject a great job offer. Here's what happened. I flew back home that Christmas. One day before my arrival, my beloved grandma fell to the ground. She broke her hip and suffered from a serious injury. She passed away on the 2nd of January. During her last days, I was lucky to be there by her side. This ended one of my biggest fears at the time. Since I moved abroad, I had fears of me not being around on my grandma's deathbed. Whenever I saw unexpected missed calls from my family, I would expect the worst. That is, the news that grandma died. I would imagine myself getting on a last-minute plane to attend the funeral and see her corpse one last time. I felt lucky that it never happened. I was by her side when she was dying. I felt gratitude that I managed to fly back home that Christmas. I was with my grandma in her last days. That was a huge gift. It wouldn't have happened had I accepted that job. I was told I would have to be at the office in London during the Christmas break. Fortunately, the company where I decided to stay let me go home for Christmas for 3 weeks. So it dawned on me. I clearly saw the gift I had received. All my regrets melted away. Instantly, I knew with certainty that I had made the right decision not to take that job. There are millions of jobs and companies in the world. However, I had only one grandma like that. So I received the biggest gift and a blessing in disguise. I stopped having doubts and regrets. I also felt that I was not alone on my journey. Something bigger than myself was watching me. Something was sending me signals. As a result, I chose what felt right at the moment, even though it logically didn't make sense to me. Life was on my side. The universe had my back. So, you have doubts? Give life some time. Steve Jobs famously said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." You have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. So when you can't see the whole picture, trust. It usually takes time to understand why you chose to go in one direction and not the other, or to know the meaning of specific events in your life. One day, you will connect the dots. What you'll discover after a few days, weeks, months, perhaps years, can surprise you. Or sometimes, you may not see a clear connection between events and their outcomes. But somehow, you will know that the right thing happened. To conclude, difficult moments and happy endings, regrets in life, they can be powerful life lessons. They can teach you patience, acceptance, and trust. What if life knows better than you? If you like this story, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you would like to share your experiences, please use the comment section below. Thank you very much for listening.